Podcatcher from Web.I, a free and accessible podcatcher program. Hello and thank you for joining me for another episode on my podcast. Today episode, I use the Vocalizer Direct Tom and talk about Podcatcher, a free, accessible program to subscribe and listen to your favorite podcast. At the end, I'll give you the link to my page on Spreaker. Thanks Alan Robbins for asking this. Last week, after publishing the episode about Gold Wave Loopback, some of my audience contacted me and told that they had confusion of listening to my podcast because the episode play automatically after entering. Right now I don't know how to make any changes on my Spreaker page, or suggest any settings for your web browser. But instead, I'll share you a program that could prevent the confusion you have. Further, it helps you to subscribe to all of your favorite podcasts in one place. That could save your time. So here we go. First, you must download and install the Podcatcher program from http://www.webi.org.uk. I'll put the link in my show note. I have already downloaded and installed it. Now I'm going to open it to demonstrate some feature that I know. I type the word Podcatcher in my search box. Spell P-O-D-C-A-T-C-H-E-R.
Menu search box edit. Podcatcher from Web.I.
I found it, so I press enter to open.
Enter leaving menus Podcatcher dialog podcasts list box blind geek zone.
The program is opened, and the focus stand at podcast list box. This is the list of the podcast feeds I've added before, but I'll talk about it later. For now, I'll show you how to add a podcast feed to the program. An important thing you should know before adding a podcast feed is, you must find the URL to subscribe on the podcast website. The URL could be something like http://www.yourwebsite.com/RSS. Each website have own way to display this URL, so I can't show you the exactly way to find it. However, the link usually named like subscribe, subscribe to iTunes, subscribe to RSS, etc. I'll demonstrate by subscribing to my page on Spreaker. I open my Spreaker page and find the link to subscribe.
Desktop folder view list view Internet Explorer 2 of 5. Enter. Internet Explorer address and search using Google Edit about : blank.
I type in my Spreaker URL, then press enter.
spreaker.com/n user/blank d and man Cuong. Enter. New tab page. Page has 1 frame, 9 headings and 72 links.
The page has been loaded. For Spreaker, I press insert plus F7 and find the link called episodes.
Links list dialog, links list view, explore, episodes.
I press enter on this link.
Enter. Episodes link.
Continue pressing insert plus F7 and find the link called subscribe to RSS feed.
Links list dial S shows. S subscribe to RSS feed.
Press Alt+M to move to this link. Remember that you just moved to it, don't activate it.
Alt+M subscribe to RSS feed visited link.
Now press application to open context menu.
Applications context menu open O.
For Internet Explorer users, press T or down arrow to find the options called copy shortcut. I'll press T to find quickly.
T copy shortcut T.
Press enter to copy the link. This link will be used to subscribe to my podcast feed.
Enter leaving menus subscribe to RSS feed visited link.
The RSS link has been copied to clipboard. Now I return to my Podcatcher program and add it to my podcast list.
Alt-Tab Podcatcher. Podcatcher dialog podcasts list box blind geek zone.
Here I open the podcast menu and find the options called add podcast.
Menu bar file F podcasts C. Menu podcasts menu get new podcasts Ctrl+G download podcasts left parent closes add podcast A.
Press enter on this.
Enter leaving menus new podcast dialog enter the web addresser URL for the new podcast : enter the web addresser URL for the new podcast : edit.
Now I press Ctrl+V to paste the URL for my RSS feed that I've copied before.
Paste it from clipboard.
Press enter to add it to the list.
Enter. List box Cuong Man vertical bar Spreaker new podcast dialog enter the name of the new podcast : enter the name of the new podcast : edit Cuong Man vertical bar Spreaker.
When you add a podcast feed to the list, you will be prompted to enter the name for your new podcast. However, you can press enter to accept a name that Podcatcher retrieves from the site. For now, I press enter because I don't want to type the new name.
Enter. Guests list box. Cuong Man vertical bar speaker.
I've just added my RSS feed to the Podcatcher program. Now I'll summarize the steps I subscribe to a podcast feed. I hope that help you to remember easily. That are: 1. Open the podcast site you want to subscribe. 2. Find the link named something like subscribe to RSS feed, then copy it to clipboard. 3. Return to Podcatcher window, Alt+C for podcast menu, and find the options called Add Podcast. 4. Press enter, and paste the copied URL to the window. 5. Press enter to add it to the program. 6. Optional, give it a name. 7. Press enter to complete. As you can see, the feed has been added, and focus moved there automatically. But now I'll press home to go to the top of this list, and demonstrate how to navigate.
Home, blind geek zone.
To navigate in this list, press up or down arrow key. I'll press down arrow to find my Spreaker podcast.
Cool blind tech, Dangman Q, Eyes on Success, Ham and X Juan Carlos, Mystic Accent, Stacy Vertical, The Audacity to The Blind World, The Podcasters apostrophe Stu, Cuong Dangman Vertical bar Spreaker.
Okay, I found it here. Now I press enter to get the list of its episodes.
Enter. List box, getting podcast, please wait, Podcatcher dialog, items list box, gold wave loop back dash in this episode.
The main interface of this program has two areas. The left pane is podcast list, and the right pane is podcast episodes. The episodes list will be loaded automatically when you enter the podcast. I'll talk about moving between these areas later. For now, the episodes list has been loaded, and the focus has been moved to this automatically. You can use up or down arrow keys to find the item that you want to listen. The list is sort ascending, so my latest episode, Gold Wave Loopback, stands at the top. I'll press down arrow to move to my previous episodes.
Audacity loopback left parent P2 right parent dash in this episode. Audacity loopback left parent P1 right parent dash in this episode. I create MP3 file using iTunes and JAWS dash this is my.
When you find the episode that you want to listen, use the following hotkeys to play with. Please remember the hotkeys. I don't demonstrate it because my internet connection is very slow now. The hotkeys are: Enter, or Ctrl+P, play current episode. Escape, stop current episode. Ctrl+D, decrease volume. Ctrl+I, increase volume. Ctrl+U, pause current episode. Ctrl+F, move forward 30 seconds. Ctrl+B, move backward 30 seconds. Ctrl+S, save current episode to your hard drive. You can find most of these hotkeys in the audio menu. Press Alt+A to open it. Now I'll talk about moving between the podcast list and the episode list. To move from the podcast list to the episode list, press Alt+P. To move oppositely, press Alt+I. I'll demonstrate this for you. I press insert up arrow to make sure the focus stands at the episode list.
Create MP3 file using iTunes and JAWS dash this is my first English.
Now I press Alt+P to move focus to the podcast list.
Alt+P podcasts list box Cuong Dangman vertical bar Spreaker. Create MP3 file using iTunes and JAWS dash this is my first English podcast.
Now I can navigate in this list.
The Podcasters apostrophe The Blind World podcast. The Podcasters apostrophe Studio. Cuong Dangman vertical.
And then press enter to the podcast feed that I want to listen.
Enter. Items list box gold wave loopback dash in this episode.
The two hotkeys help me to move between these two areas quick and easily. Now I'll talk about the last thing I'd like to share today, that is delete a podcast feed. To delete a podcast feed, navigate to it and press delete. You will be confirmed by the program. Answer yes, then the feed will be deleted. I'll delete my Spreaker feed.
Confirm delete podcast dialog. Are you sure you want to delete Cuong Dangman vertical bar Spreaker? Yes button. Alt+Y. Cuong Dangman vertical bar Spreaker.
Just press enter or space bar.
Enter. Podcasts list box. Blind Geek Zone.
The podcast feed has been deleted, and I finish my podcast here. I'm not show all of the program feature, but I think that is enough to listen to a podcast feed. I hope this useful for people who want to listen to podcast, and I'm happy to receive your question or feedback about this. Let's try, and share your thought. Thank you for listening. See you next time.